You answer every text within 2 minutes. You never say no. You drop everything every single time for everyone who needs you. And you have convinced yourself that that makes you a good person. But what if I told you it's actually destroying you? And worse, it's destroying how people see you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the place you come to listen, learn, and grow. I am your girl Swati, and today we are getting into something I haven't seen anyone talked about honestly. We celebrate people who are always there, always available, always responsive, always showing up, but nobody is talking about what that's costing you. So today we are going into the dark side of being too available and why the kindest thing you can do for yourself and the people you love is to stop being so easy to reach. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Availability is not the same as value. Here is the first thing I need you to hear. When you are available to everyone all the time for everything, you stop being special to anyone. Think about it. What do we value? What's rare? What's sacred? What you have to wait for? Work for? Earn? And when you make yourself infinitely available, you remove all of that. You become expected. You become a given. You become background noise. The friend who always picks up the phone. You stop appreciating them. The partner who always makes time. You stop seeing the effort. The coworker who always says yes. You start assuming they will say yes and you stop asking nicely. Availability without limits doesn't make people love you more. It trains people to need you more while valuing you less. And I know that stings because you were available because you care, because you wanted to be there, because nobody showed up for you the way you showed up for others. And so you became the person you always needed. But here is the massive differences between being generous with your time and erasing your time entirely. One is love, the other is self abandonment dressed up as love. Choose yours. Now, let's talk about the damage it does. Now, let's talk about what this damage is actually doing to you. Because the damage is real and it shows up in a ways you might not have connected. You are constantly exhausted, but you can't explain why. Because you haven't done anything big. You have just been slowly drained by 1,000 small yeses that should have been no's. You feel resentment, deep, quiet, burning resentment towards the people you love. Not because they are bad people, but because you gave more than you had and nobody asked you to. You volunteered yourself empty and then felt angry about it. Your relationships are unbalanced and you know it. You give more, you initiate more, you accommodate more, and you have started to notice when you are not available, nobody comes looking. And the worst part, you have trained the people around you to only come to you when they need something, not to check in, not to see how you are, to get something. Because that's what you taught them to do. You were the vending machine, always stocked, always open. That is not connection, that is utility. And love, you deserve so much more than being useful. So now let's move into what healthy availability looks like. So I want to be very clear. I'm not telling you to become cold. I'm not telling you to stop caring. I'm not telling you to ghost people or build walls so high that nobody can get in. I'm just telling you to stop living the door wide open 24 hours a day and then wondering why you don't feel safe inside your own home. So now I'm gonna tell you what healthy availability looks like. You respond, but on your own time, not because someone urgency automatically becomes your emergency. You show up for the people who matter, but not at the expense of yourself, not every time, not automatically, not out of fear. You say no, sometimes without explanation, without a paragraph of justification, without guilt eating you alive for 3 days after. You let people miss you a little. You let there be space in relationship. You let yourself be something someone has to invest in, not just access. And this is going to feel deeply uncomfortable if you have spent years being the available one. It's going to feel like you are being selfish, like you are being unkind, like you are failing the people who need you. But I want you to notice that discomfort is not evidence that you are doing something wrong. It's evidence that you are doing something new. The people who truly love you, they will adjust. They will adjust. They will respect it. They will actually value you more. And the people who can't handle you having a self, that is information you needed anyway. So notice every single one of them. So we are here at the very end of our video. So now here is what I want to leave you with. You are not a service. You are not a support system. You are not a resources. You are a person with a life, with needs, with limits, with a self that deserves the same energy you pour out so freely into everyone else. Being there for people is beautiful, but being there for everyone all the time at the cost of yourself, that's not love. That's disappearing slowly and calling it devotion. You are allowed to be a little harder to reach. You are allowed to not respond instantly. You are allowed to be somewhere mentally, emotionally, physically. That is just yours. Your worth is not measured by your availability, and the moment you start living like that, the moment you actually believe it, that is when the right people, the ones who are worth your energy, will show up differently. Because now there is someone real to show up for. I hope this found the person who needs to hear it. Share it with the person in your life who gives and gives and gives and doesn't know how to stop. And remember, I'm forever in your corner and I'm always rooting for you. See you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. I love you all.